The orange coin went up last night. Big news. So we got some new inflation data, core inflation. So that's inflation taking out energy, food out of the equation, went up month over month from 0.4 to 0.5%. It's also up 0.5% year over year. This means that things are not good in the US economy, but our favorite Bitcoin is actually going up on this news for the first time, maybe ever, sort of something like this thesis of Bitcoin moving on top of inflation data proving true. That was a big thesis for the last 2 years. It didn't really come about. But now it's sort of diverging from other markets, including the NASDAQ. The correlation between the NASDAQ and Bitcoin is at its lowest ever since the collapse of FTX. So this is a big news for proponents of Bitcoin. This is also, of course, occurring in the wake of SVB and all these other banks exploding. So we have a nice little narrative here, right, where people who were involved in these banks and banking stocks are having a bad time, but people who are holding onto Bitcoin are having a good time. Of course, I think the context here is everyone's sort of having a bad time because the market's not doing so hot overall. Zach, I'll throw it over to you though and get your take.
Did I hear decoupling there? Did you say decoupling between the lines?
Maybe,
Are we decoupling?
Maybe.
Is this happening? Is this happening? Bitcoin is traded so closely to like high risk, tech stocks, right? This was a risk on asset, and now all of a sudden you're telling me we're decoupling and Bitcoin is being valued as something that exists apart from the existing financial system? That's a big story if true. I don't know if we're all the way there just yet, but the data point that you cited, Will, is the one that stands out here as people somehow see Bitcoin as the safer alternative to maybe some of the regional banks at which they are customers. So this is pretty crazy to watch this unfold in the wake of what could be a very significant crackdown and a very significant cutoff of the U.S. crypto industry from the U.S. banking system. So the fact that Bitcoin is doing so well right now is pretty remarkable. So I think it wouldn't necessarily be my bet to have seen this happen in the wake of what seems to be a pretty coordinated takedown of the banks that serve the crypto industry in the US. But hey, Bitcoin is doing its thing and is climbing. Wendy, I don't know. You want to throw some cold water on that? Are you seeing this thing? What's going on?
It's exciting. One of the areas I was looking to see a flip above was the $25,000 area of resistance. We're able to successfully flip it into support for now. I am still a little bit cautious though, because there's a lot of euphoria in the market. People are getting very excited. People are leveraging all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited. I'm happy people are making money. But at the same time, I'm a little bit cautious. But one of the positive aspects of this is it just goes to show that the US can do whatever they want to do against Bitcoin, crypto, NFTs, and be predatory, be absolutely horrible to the underdogs here. But Bitcoin and these decentralized economies don't care. And they're going to continue to thrive in other places. And it just goes to show stocks get shut down. Public servants come in and say, you can't do this, but we're still able to transact with Bitcoin to trade it or do whatever it is we want to do with it. And that's the beauty with Bitcoin. It cannot be controlled. It cannot be stopped. And no one gets to tell you what to do with your Bitcoin. Your choice.
Yes, this is true. This is true. In fact, last night I actually minted my first ordinal. So even the Bitcoin maxis cannot tell me what to do with my Bitcoin. Yes, I made a little Bitcoin man. No, I think to Winnie Zach's points, we're sort of seeing everything everybody wanted to see happen for quite a while, right? It's decoupling between tech stocks and Bitcoin, between Bitcoin and the NASDAQ, between Bitcoin and the entire macro environment. That's what people have been sort of basing this Bitcoin thesis on for 12 years. It hasn't been happening though. And all of a sudden, in the midst of this banking crisis, we are seeing something happen. The weird part about it is I don't think a lot of people have had time to allocate capital towards Bitcoin. So I really think it's just sort of a narrative thing. And maybe that narrative sticks on and capital starts flowing more into Bitcoin. But right now, I really think it's a narrative play. And maybe we're seeing more Bitcoin holders buy into Bitcoin to drive this. That's how I think about it. But we'll leave that one there. Bitcoin going up. We love that. Zach, let's go over to you for the next story.
Ordinals plus blanking crisis equals Bitcoin surging. Crazy. Wow. Bitcoin is back. Remember Bitcoin? Wow, it's back. It's interesting. It's exciting again.